What is going on, everyone? Happy Tuesday, BTL, episode 142 piece. Jovan, how we doing?
Doing great. Doing absolutely fantastic.
Feeling dangerous today?
Just a little bit. Yesterday was a great day. Fantastic day.
Yesterday went well. Maybe the first Monday I've hit bets in a long time.
Yeah.
Sorry for the Rider Cake chat. That's on me. Please don't look at how that game ended. Should you get the blue or the tan hoodie? A piece of shit would say both probably, but I'm going to tell you the blue hoodie. I think the blue hoodie is the freshest. That's what I would get. Okay. I've got some on the way. Yes, Matt, good morning. I know people do live in California for some reason still, and you're one of them. So good for you for sticking it out. We're out here today, Monday, Public Monday. We hit some bets. I don't know if you can work on pulling up that tweet or if you can send me that tweet of the dude's parlay he hit when he tailed all the BTL plays. Can you send that to me?
Yeah.
Would love to show that off. Yeah, Fruity, a piece of shit would probably say both. So I'm going to say both. Yeah, we're out here, though. We're going to do who's hot, who's not today, obviously, for NFL, college football, and CBB. We've been doing that every Tuesday. If you guys don't like that segment, speak up now, because we've been pretty locked in for that. We're going to talk about bowl games today. Obviously, we got two of them. We're going to talk some college basketball, one of the best college basketball slates of the early season so far. Kind of makes up for yesterday's absolute poverty college basketball slate. Gosh, man, that Rider game last night really sucked. I don't know if you tuned in for the end of that, but it was absolutely brutal. Terrible foul call at the end of the game. Ended up with Delaware winning the game. So if you were on Delaware, good bet last night. If you were not, that's on me. We move. I promise we've got plays today to make the coin back. Okay? And Baker Mayfield under was free.
Very.
It was free.
Super free.
It was free. Shout out Trent for spoon feeding. I think the first time ever. Trent has spoon fed a prop. He spoon fed the Dort under prop. Smacked.
Free.
Smacked.
Free.
And yeah, if I hear the word conch one more time, I'm going to end stream. Okay. So we move. Okay. Jovan, NFL week 15 is over, I think. Pretty sure that was week 15.
Think so.
Thoughts? Anything you learned? What did you learn this weekend?
What did I learn?
What did you learn?
So what I learned is that I think no matter how, I don't want to say bad, but they haven't been great over these last couple of weeks, the Dolphins. I think they're going to win some games in the playoffs regardless, because I've been impressed. I especially was impressed of how Tua played in the cold. That was just, he wasn't going to be able to function. He has terrible games in the cold. He was going to throw 3 picks like everybody thought.
He was going to turn into an ice sculpture and then shatter when
Yeah,
somebody sacked him for the first time.
much.
That's what people were acting like. People were acting like he was going to turn into an ice sculpture.
Yeah, I mean, we were acting like it was impossible. But you look good. Not to say
he is good.
Yeah, he is. He's just generally good. And over these couple weeks, like, they've still lost games, but especially from that Chargers game where he looked absolutely atrocious, strides were made against the Bills defense that is very, very good too.
Yeah.
So I think over these last couple weeks, I think they go Packers and then Jets and Patriots in whatever order. Tough defenses, tough teams to face. I think he's going to find a stride. And I think come playoff time, these couple games that they've lost are going to be really, really beneficial for them. So that's one of the things I learned.
Yes. Well, they have to get into the playoffs first.
They do.
We'll touch on that later. That could be one of my points.
Yeah.
Also, boots on ground at USF last night. You put your real hard-earned coins on USF last night.
Well, so we actually initially, like the boys, we wanted to split it up. Shout out one of my friends who's like super square who went to the game with. He goes, "Why the hell is USF? Why is this total at 137? They average like 6 points a game." Which, to hear that come out of his mouth was insane. Then I looked at it and it was creeping up. So we all took that, and then we also took Hofstra before the news broke that he was playing, but everybody was riding it already. So we had no choice. We split it up, 1-1, but it was fun. Shout out to him for pointing out the over. I was shocked.
All right, let's go. Your buddy's making progress.
Yeah.
Have you noticed your friends around you? Have they gotten better at betting from
Well,
hanging
yeah.
out with you?
A lot of them just ask me like, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? So I'm always like, yeah,
Right.
that line looks a little short. So then they've started pointing it out by themselves, which I mean, a lot of the gambling community has kind of gotten a little sharper, which is good. But
I agree. And Rome was not built in a day. Jovan, it took decades. Okay. So you can't expect them to be sharp to square overnight. All right. Why don't you take it easy on your buddy? Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's happening, and it does happen, and it does work. But in order for a square to turn into a sharp, they have to be able to let go of the one thing that's the hardest to let go, and it's that you can't bet on stuff that makes sense. That's the hardest part. So once they get through that, that's how you know they made it. Okay.
Yeah.
I swear every bet I'm on, my friends are on the opposite. Yeah, Sam, my friends don't even talk to me about bets anymore. They don't even, they don't. They'll ask me if I like, or if I have a POD or some shit. They'll tail it, obviously, but like they're gonna be on the other side. They don't even want to ask or no.
Yeah, of course.
And hey, Big Dave, one of the wisest things I've heard all year, told me, hey, you can convince people to bet on something for 2 hours if you want. At the end of the day, people are gonna bet on what they want to bet on, and that's totally fine because it's people's money and they can do whatever the hell they want with it, as long as they're not hurting other people. Right. So that's what I'll leave it at that. I think we do a pretty good job up here of preaching bets we like, but then we kind of leave it up to you guys in the squad ride there at the end to vote for what you guys want to take because it's your money. Right. I think we've done a good job of incorporating that, and knock on wood, don't let the squad rides get hot. All right. We'll leave it at that. Four in a row.
I think it's 4.
5.
It might be 5. It might be 5.
6.
Whatever it is, they're doing well.
7.
Maybe 27.
8.
Let's shoot.
Queens is covering today. Matt, hopefully we get to talk about that. That's an interesting game. Queens plays Nebraska today.
Yeah.
Very curious to see how that goes. But I did want to show this parlay real quick from our buddy. This is why you pay attention. This is why you watch. This is why you learn. This is why we play. Okay. This was awesome. Our buddy here, Raw V, who I hope is watching this. If he is, let me know in chat. Hit a fucking 5-piece last night after listening to BTL. He put together all the plays. Boom. Would you look at that? And shout out the Caps for winning, but not by winning by too much.
Yeah.
Love it. That was pretty cool. That shit makes me happy. Not encouraging parlaying all our plays because that's probably going to lose you money 9 times out of 10. But that shit makes me happy.
Yeah,
so
you can do it. You can do it responsibly. Parlay.
Yeah.
We all preach be smart with your money. Don't parlay and expect to make millions every time you do it. But if you do it for fun, do it responsibly.
Yeah,
it's all good.
Just like going out and buying a beer at a fucking bar. Like that's a stupid investment, right? But it's fun and you're gonna do it. So
yeah, why not?
Just like that. Just know that when you're placing a parlay, you're not building bankroll with it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
If you're placing a parlay, that's money that's probably not going to come back, and you have to be okay with that. I'll leave it at that.
Pretty much.
All right. Okay. Are you getting braids in your hair? People in chat are talking about it.
No.
Are you braiding up?
I don't know where. What to deal with that is.
Mama Jovan wouldn't like that around Christmas time with the braids.
I mean, she would care, but I'm not doing it.
Did you see the Marco parlay? That shit is so rigged on his book. I love Lamp. I'd love to believe in a conspiracy that they rigged the parlay for one dude. Unfortunately, they probably didn't. And that dude was getting a lot of hate for that video. And look, that was one of the cringiest videos I've ever watched in my life, watching him celebrate like that. He looked like a fucking moron. But the dude hit a fucking parlay, and everyone's chirping him, saying, "Oh, how much money did he lose to have to bet this much on a parlay?" It's like, dude, it's the guy's money. If he wants to piss it away and throw crazy $30,000 parlays that hit once every 2 months, by all means, go ahead.
Do what you gotta
do. By all means, okay?
Yeah.
And yeah, Spicy McNutt, it was 41K though on one parlay. How is that possible? That's a good point, because I've also heard that you can only put 10K mobily on a bet. So maybe he had some special privileges. I don't know. But I think hitting that parlay was cool. If it was rigged or whatever, fuck that guy. But I don't think it was, and I think he's just a cornball. I think he's just a cornball.
Pretty simple.
And we'll leave it at that. Okay. When is Trent getting the frog tattoo? That's a very good point.
Probably after we win the national championship.
Ooh. Krabs Megalodon would be lit. The Megalodons are retired, Supreme Fatty. Okay. RIP the Megalodon, 2022 to 2022. Okay. Where's Trent? Alex, you're a little early, buddy. Thanks for coming in again, though, and asking.
Yeah.
All right. Let's what have I learned? What have I learned in NFL this week? Let's take a peep. Well, I learned that Bill Belichick, is still one of the best coaches of all time, but he might be losing his fastball. And I think him, not even that play, but just him deciding, and hey, maybe it wasn't his call, but I'm assuming it was because I think he does call the shots around there, deservingly so. Him to make Patricia and Joe Judge the head of that offense to run it this season, I don't know what he was thinking. That was a misfire. That was a bad call. So I don't know what he's going to do to change it. He's going to change it. But, what goes through your mind where you're like, yeah, I'll have Joe Judge be calling shots here? After what you saw in New York or Jersey, whatever. That was something. I've also learned that I'm kind of cracked at NFL this year. 92, 59, and 6 on NFL plays. 61%. 61%. That's pretty cool. That plays. And we move. All right?
Yep.
Anything else big from NFL this week, or you want to get into who's hot, who's not?
We can just get into that.
Okay. Who's hot and who's not? Let's start with college football. All right. Who's hot in college football right now? I'm going to go FIU, Florida Internationals. All right. They just got a top recruit, a tight end coming in, Jovan. This kid's going to be a stud. Goes by the name of Rowdy Beers.
Oh.
Rowdy Beers. He took Rowdy Tellez's name and made it 100x better. I don't know how he did it. This kid, he's not a 3-star, 4-star, 5-star. He's a no-star. Don't care. FIU. The win of the weekend. The win of the week in college football this week. Getting Rowdy Beers. The best name I've ever heard in sports. To commit this week. So whoever's in charge of recruiting there, good work. Good work, gents. Okay? That's what I've got. What do you got?
Yeah, you know who I got to say for college football. You saw the GOATs take home the performance last night. Shout out to the herd. We are Marshall, the absolute GOATs. Talk about a dominating defense all year, and then you see it in the game last night. Started a little creep back at the end, but defense is dominant. It's also a super young defense. Yep. They got pieces around them. I mean, shout out Cam Fancher too. He's not the best quarterback, but he certainly is giving a little juice to that offense, so they're a comparable or at least passable offense. And then we got Rasheen Ali. I think he's coming back. I'm not 100% certain, but he's, I believe, going into his junior year. So they got pieces. They got pieces around them. I'm really excited to see what they do next year. Shout out to them for covering yesterday and getting the win total all season. It's a good little wrap up for that team. I don't think I've seen many mid-major or non-group of 5, I guess it is in football, group of 5 defenses that are better than that defense. It was insane.
Yeah. They had a pick 6 yesterday. They look great. Marshall offense disappeared in the second half like they always do, but they barely held on. Barely held on. I was never scared in that game. So shout out to Herd. Yeah. I'm with you. And Pega Acid, Kenny Dye is a fucking dog. And he's probably going to win today. Okay? Probably outright. All right. Biggest troll. Who do I like? Duke versus Wake. I really like Wake today, and we'll get to that. Labarbera? No way I said that right. Kid just committed, I believe, to Central Arkansas by the name of Dude Person. Yes, that is true. I feel bad for Dude Person. I feel like if there was no Rowdy Beers, it would be Dude Person's week. I feel like he'd be the one all over the internet going viral. But he's kind of getting overshadowed here by Rowdy Beers. I'm not going to lie. Hate to see it, Dude Person. Kick rocks, buddy. Good try. All right. Awesome. I was thinking about putting Dude Person as the who's not in college football. But I've got a real one. Kind of. I've got UTSA / the group of 5. Like you just mentioned, Jovan. They're not hot in college football. Let me tell you why. As I pull up this tab. Here we go. Boom. This is the coach of UTSA. He's saying, hey, how do I report Power 5 schools trying to poach our guys? He's complaining about the transfer portal, and he's complaining about the big boys colluding and talking with these guys a little too early, I think. And I like this comment under here too, saying they've adopted the MLB model, let the small market teams draft and develop, and then the big market teams will just swoop in and snag them up once they start playing good, right? That's true. That is what's going on. There's nothing we can do about it. This is just, a part of the game now. It comes with it, with paying the players, and the guys deserve to be paid, so there's nothing we can really do. But it's an L for UTSA, and it's an L for group of 5 schools. It's an L for small schools. They're going to be losing their guys left and right. You're going to have a breakout star at one of these small schools and everyone rallying around him, and he's that guy. And next thing you know, next year he's gone. That's just how it's going to go. That was already happening, but now it's going to happen on an even more accelerated pace. So Jeff Traylor is fucking pissed. And I would be too. I get it. Yeah. But what the hell are you going to do? Yeah, if you're a good kid, if you're a good player at a small school, you're not going to be there next year. That's how NIL works now.
Yeah, okay? Pretty much.
Yep. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Florida. So I think not only looking at their, route, which a lot of players out, first start for Jack Miller. It's not a big deal, I would say, but just overall kind of looking at their season as a whole, I think I expected a little more from Billy Napier. And yes, I guess a lot of Florida fans and my friends would say, wait till he gets his guys, which is 100% right. But I just don't know what direction they're going to go in. They're missing a lot of big pieces from everybody leaving. Obviously, you have AR-15 going to the draft. So they don't really know what they're going to do at quarterback, whether it's Jack Miller, which they got a little taste of in the bowl game, or whether it's DJ Lagway, the 5-star coming in, or whether they're going to try and raid the transfer portal. I don't really know what their plan is. I think a lot of fans too are very scared to see what they're going to do, and they have a lot of unproven guys that are going to be getting big time play in this next year. So it's going to be interesting. They're going to be super young. They're not really getting any more experience, so they're going to have to hit the transfer portal really, really hard. And if they don't, that's going to spell trouble. And Billy Napier's tenure is probably going to be very, very short.
Yeah. Florida needs to figure it out. Football's better when the Gators are good. Plain and simple. Need to bring them back to glory.
Yeah.
Are you a Richardson believer? Do you think this kid, you're not? Okay. Because have you been hearing him getting slurped?
Yeah, I mean, he does because of his arm talent, which I've seen the Josh Allen comparisons for some reason. The last week, they've been blowing up just because of his arm talent, just because of the background of him being an uncertain prospect. I'm just not in on him. I don't think the decision making is there. I don't think the accuracy is there. I don't think anything is there but the arm talent. So
yeah,
I don't think you're getting anything. I'm not good with him.
Yeah, Josh Allen's don't grow on trees. Josh Allen situations don't usually pan out. I do agree, though, the comp is comparable. The end result may not be. It may be. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, as a prospect, they're coming out of college, they're slightly similar. I don't think anything's there for him.
Okay. Yeah, I don't disagree. Okay. Who's hot in the NFL? I'm gonna go the Packers. Don't let Aaron Rodgers get hot. All right. Whatever he's been doing the last couple of weeks has been working. And Aaron Rodgers off a bye wins and covers games because he might be a jerk and a dick and think he's the greatest person on earth. But he is a smart dude and he knows how to win. And he uses that extra week, just like we see Andy Reid do. He uses that extra week to his advantage and it works. Okay. Check the data. Listen, the Packers, they're plus 650 to make the playoffs, Jovan. I know it's probably not going to happen, but hear me out. The rest of their schedule is tough. It's tough. But it's 3 games that Aaron Rodgers can win. He plays the Dolphins next week. Probably the toughest one. And then he's got the Vikings and Lions at home to end the season. And look, those are 3 great teams. I'd be a fool to sit up here and say that Aaron Rodgers is going to sweep those 3 games. But it's not like he's playing the Chiefs. He's not playing the Bills. These are good teams, but these are teams that Aaron Rodgers can beat, especially if this defense is playing good and locked in like they were last season, like they are right now. Okay, so I think that plus 650 has a little bit of value. I really do. And if you look at the teams that are ahead of the Packers right now in the standings, I mean, the Commies could lose out. Hate to say it, but they could. They're ahead of them. Seattle sucks. They're ahead of them. They could drop out and fall. Not worried about them. It could come down, Jovan. It could come down to week 18. Detroit Lions going to Lambeau Fields. Winner goes to the playoffs.
Yep.
And at plus 650, I'm willing to give that a sprinkle. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I think it's definitely a value shot. You're definitely asking for a couple things to happen. But, I mean, at that price, it's not asking particularly too much. I mean, there is an outside shot. Not against it. They've been playing well. If there's, the Lions, I know it's a much different team on both sides, but if the Lions are going to Lambeau with a playoff berth on the line, I'm not mad at having plus 650 on Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
Not at all.
Yep. Could not agree more. Keep sleeping on the Browns. Is that what Jay Clem's saying?
I will be
in REM sleep, brother. I've never had a better night's sleep. I took some of those melatonin purple gummies. Never had a better night's sleep.
Yeah.
That's how asleep I am on them. Okay. Krabs, how come the Packers didn't score at the end? I don't know. I'm not a coach on the team. Sorry, Matt. Jovan, who's hot in the NFL?
Yeah, how about Trevor Lawrence and the Jags?
Wow.
A massive win at home against the Cowboys. And now they essentially, I would say, have 2 really important games that are kind of half playing games on their own. And I didn't think I would ever be excited to see a nationally televised Jets-Jaguars game, but this Thursday we're getting that, and I'm pretty excited to see it because that's a really important game with a Jags team that's hot and a really good Jets defense. So they play them. They go on the road for the Jets this week, and then on the back end, that last week of the season, they play the Titans, which that game could very well decide the division and get them into the playoffs. So they're playing really well, and they're one of those teams that I would really not like to face if I'm anybody in that AFC, especially if it ends up being the Ravens, which it kind of looks like it's going to be either them or the Chargers, maybe the Dolphins sneak up in there. But that's a tough matchup for anybody, especially with the way they're playing right now. And if this offense keeps moving like it is and Trevor Lawrence is playing like he has, I'd be scared to fade this team. And if they sneak their win in the playoffs, I would be really excited to see that.
You know what odds they are to make the playoffs?
I don't.
You want to know?
I do.
Say please.
Pretty please.
All right. Plus 125.
That's short.
Yeah, it is.
It is, I guess. It probably has to do with the division race, too. Because, I mean, they're a couple spots out if you're talking about wild card, but only 1 game back of the Titans with the game at home at the last week of the season, and the Titans do have to go to the Cowboys or host the Cowboys, not this week, but next week. And Malik Willis, I believe, it's seeming like he's going to be making an appearance this week, which granted it's the Texans, but that line is very Eagles move-esque. It went down like 7.5 to 5 or 4.5. So I wouldn't be shocked if that ends up happening. Not that I think the Texans are going to let themselves win that game, but if that's an issue going forward, maybe a little something to worry about.
Okay. Trevor Lawrence over Zach Wilson. Yes, sir. 1 deep. That's yeah. I mean, that's if anyone says the other way,
I don't know who could you even make an argument for not over Zach Wilson.
Seek help. Yeah, I don't know. Carson Wentz. All right. Who's not in the NFL? I'm gonna go with Willie McGinnis. You know who this guy is?
I mean, I definitely saw the video.
You saw the vid?
Yeah.
Willie McGinnis is getting into a little bit of trouble here, folks. Willie McGinnis was getting in a fight. Apparently had a weapon. He caught a felony charge of assault with a deadly weapon at a club in Hollywood earlier this month. Willie McGinnis, hey, we all like to party, man, but when you're an NFL Network analyst, it's probably best to not get arrested with a felony charge with a weapon. I'm sure he's got enough coins saved up where he'll be okay. But it's like, why? How are you doing this shit, man? You're famous. Everyone knows who you are. At least some people do. You're rich. You got so much to lose. What are you doing? Why are people dumb? Willie McGinnis, biggest L of the week in the NFL, more than the Commanders. Dude's kind of a bozo.
More than the Commanders.
Yeah.
That's a bold statement.
Yeah. I mean, dude, you can't be getting arrested at the clubs, man. Enjoy your night. Why are you fighting? Tough couple weeks for Willie McGinnis. And I don't feel bad. I don't. But I hope he gets back on his feet and figures it out. Okay. What do you got?
I mean, to be honest with you, I could be a dick and say the Commanders, but I'm not going to say that.
Wow, you were about to say that, weren't you?
No, but I mean, I thought about it. But I'll go the other way. I'll go with the Ravens. We all know how terribly they're playing right now, and we kind of expected maybe a little bit of a drop off, or at least I did with Huntley and the way this offense was playing. But did hear a lot of talk of, Huntley was really good with this offense last year, and you shouldn't see much of a drop off without Lamar. This team is just too bad. We talk about them being in a pretty crucial spot. I know they have a game up, I think, on the other two teams in that wild card position, but the Browns, you just have to win that game. The way the Browns team is playing right now, and they go, honestly, like the Falcons, I would be very, very scared of playing them this weekend with Desmond Ridder. Honestly, showed a little more confidence than I thought I was going to see out of him in that offense towards the second half, at least in that Saints game against a really good defense. And again, the Ravens just can't score. Like it's really, really bad. And even just say they win this game, they're going to go and play 2 games to end the year. Steelers, Bengals, so 2 interdivision matchups. That's scary for a team that's really fighting and really hanging by a thread, I would say, as far as their playoff lives go. I don't think they win 2 of those games, which it's given a little avenue of another team to sneak in ahead of them, possibly, if we're talking about, I don't know, we were talking about the Jags if they need to get into wild card position, or the Titans if they fall back. Maybe the Jets sneak in, or maybe just the Dolphins and Chargers just jump them and whatever happens. But this Ravens team is in trouble. And yes, Trent, you can get your shout out for Dort, 100%.
Trent, I already shouted you out, bro. How much more attention do you need, brother?
He just wants the people to know. Trent,
I said it before you're on. I'll say it again. First time you ever spoon fed me. I appreciate it. Thank you. Need more of those. Yeah. Straight up. Right. Made up for the rider cake that I brought to stream yesterday. All right. I like it. Yeah, the Ravens are caked, and I appreciate you not bringing up the Commanders. I feel like I was a pretty good guy not bringing up Max Duggan and TCU for biggest loser for college football because he just declared for the draft. So I respect it. I respect you leaving the Commanders out. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. College basketball. Who's hot? College of Charleston wagon. We haven't talked about them too much. Of late, but man, this team is fucking good. They're 12-1. They're the deepest team in college basketball. They're the second-ranked mid-major in college basketball behind Gonzaga, which, I mean, don't even get me started with that shit. Gonzaga is not a mid-major, but whatever. Technically, they are by rules, but that's a crock of shit. They're literally a ranked team every fucking year, and that's a bunch of baloney. They should be excluded. It should be College of Charleston number 1. Anyways, dude, this team is the deepest team I've ever seen. They have 8 guys who average 6 or more points per game. A couple other guys who average like 5 points too. Everyone on that team plays. Everyone on that team scores. And their coach, man, their coach deserves a ton of credit. He's extremely underrated. He's got a bunch of older guys on the team mixed with a couple athletic freshmen, and it's worked out incredible for College of Charleston this season. They're going to be ranked next week. All right, they're already getting votes. They have the 4th most receiving votes out of any college basketball teams that are not ranked yet. They play Hampton this week. They should beat them, knock on woods. And then they have a huge game at Towson on Saturday, and that's going to be a bad spot for them. Towson needs a big win. They've come off a couple bad losses. But if College of Charleston takes care of business in Baltimore against the Towson Tigers, like I think they should, although they might not cover, this team will be ranked come Monday. And they deserve it. They are one of the best 25 teams in college basketball. They already should be ranked. They deserve more respect, and they're going to start getting it soon if they take care of business this week. All right? So let's go Charleston, get it done for the boys. They've been printing cash. Shout out that over last night. That was never in doubt, Jovan.
Yeah,
never in doubt.
Definitely
Did
never.
you watch the end of that?
Oh, yeah, I did. Oh, yeah.
Holy
I don't know
smokes.
why they're fouling down 12 with, 10 seconds left or whatever is left?
Shout out Coastal Carolina for showing maybe the most heart I've ever seen out of a college basketball team the last couple minutes of the game down 20. That team fought for their lives out there on the court. And they got it to a 9-point game, Jovan. So it was like it was getting weird there at the end. Charleston hit some free throws. Coastal Carolina didn't score. Coastal Carolina fouled with 15 seconds left when most teams probably wouldn't, which sent Charleston to the line to hit 2 clutch free throws to cash the over by the hook for the squad ride. So if you guys weren't watching that, that was sweaty as shit. And that's why we love betting on college basketball. I don't think there's a sweatier sport.
No.
That was awesome. That was awesome. Hope you guys enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
All right. Shout out Charleston, man. Shout out Charleston. They should be ranked come next week if they take care of business. All right.
Yeah.
What do you got?
So good. I'm going to go Penny Hardaway for who's hot. And I know they haven't looked like I would say they first they looked really good in that Auburn game. Looked honestly really good in that Alabama game too. Didn't look great, I would say, against the Texas A&M team that's not very good, but I see a big difference in this team. First of all, I mean the one issue with them is they always just hack, don't play much defense. That's going to be a thing. But when you look at this team, obviously Kendrick Davis, great addition for this team, super solid, putting up numbers even when he's not shooting efficiently from the field. But the rest of this team, I think Penny Hardaway is making better adjustments because there's been points in a lot of these games like Auburn kind of neck and neck in that game, started going a run. Memphis didn't back down. Alabama could have, they had them on the ropes of getting this game out of hand, and Memphis fought back into that game, made it a very close game, a 3-point game at the end. Same thing with Texas A&M. They started to make a run, later in that game, and I think almost took the lead for a bit, and then Memphis continued to fight back. These are all spots where Memphis, in years past, when you've looked at their teams and they've been super talented, they've folded because they're just not a team that's very well disciplined, which that's still an issue that needs to be worked on a little bit, but team that's inconsistent, team that doesn't have good scoring, whenever times get tough. They have that this year. So I think over the course of, now I think they play a couple cupcake games or one cupcake game until conference play starts. They're going to be a problem if they continue to get better. Obviously having Kendrick Davis, huge plus. If they can just stop putting people on the free throw line, this team is going to be absolutely scary. And I love what Penny is doing from a coaching standpoint. It looks much improved in the last couple of years.
Yeah, last year they won with talent. Towards the end of the year, last year regular season was a shit show. You remember people calling for Penny's head, right? Yeah, they've locked in. I've been impressed with that squad as well. Helps when you bring over Kendrick Davis, one of the best players in the country.
I think it helps them, honestly, because I guess, Duran was a huge part of their offense and just overall team, obviously. I think they're better suited if they're pretty based on guard play. Now they're a much smaller team, obviously, with Kendrick Davis, with Lomax. I think that's better for them as a team. So I'm excited.
Okay. All right. Penny Hardaway making moves. Who's not in college basketball? I'm going to go me. Had a good day yesterday. Full transparency. Play of the days are back to 500. They were ass over the last week. Unacceptable. We're coming back with one today. It's going to hit. Okay? Full transparency. Hate when people act like their shit doesn't stink when their bets aren't hitting. I don't do that. I'll let you guys know when my plays aren't great. This past week, they have not been great. And we're coming out firing on all cylinders tonight with a POD. And it's hitting. Okay?
There we go.
Leave it at that.
There you go.
What do you got?
My favorite play, like last week, I went on a stretch where it's garbage too. So I'm with you. I'm going to go on the other side of one of those Memphis games, who's not Auburn, because they're kind of in the same realm as I talked about Arizona. They're going to be a team who is going to struggle on the road when you get into conference play. Same thing with Auburn, but they just have always struggled on the road, and it looks extremely pronounced this year. I believe Memphis was neutral site, if I'm not mistaken, but it's still not at home. And when they go not at home, it happened again on Sunday, which they actually won on the road against USC and flopped in that game against a USC team.
Yes, they did.
Certainly beatable, and they had their guy back, which was super huge. And I know he played limited minutes, but this Auburn team, I've said it like a couple times, I'm going to continue to fade them anytime they're not in the jungle. And we get another game against a very good Washington team on the road, I believe tomorrow. And we got a few tough games on the road when they start getting the SEC play. So this is a team that I'm going to continue to fade. I was a little probably higher on them earlier in the year, and now I'm just not starting to see any consistency, especially when they go on the road. So I'm a little out on this team. I'm a little out on some of these SEC teams in general. So I think they're going to be struggling a little bit.
Okay. I feel like even at home, they don't really cover. I feel like they just don't cover.
They don't cover too much. It's just they win. And I guess it looks better when you're talking about SEC games when they come in and they play, in Arkansas, or at least I feel like they have the close random game against Georgia like every year. But yeah, they've been scratching out a lot. They're not a great ATS team, or haven't been historically. I don't think they're great this year either.
Let's go. DeGen with some sub banks. Is this true?
That one's on AJ Dillon.
Let's go. DeGen, you're a dog. You're a dog. Robert Tanyan can literally suck me. Fuck him. Holy shit, man. We had another SGP yesterday that lost by one leg again. Shout out your guy, Tanya.
Yeah. Him.
I hit up Jovan yesterday. I said, what do you think about Tanya? And he goes, I can't hit a single bet on that guy to save my life.
No, I'm like 1 in 27 lifetime, which I guess if I would have, I should have bet on it yesterday. Bet on the unders just to spare you. But I said I would go nowhere near it, so you should probably lock in the over. And for once, I got the guy right.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck him. He's useless. I mean, it's pretty insane. Mercedes Lewis looks better than him. And Mercedes Lewis just qualified for AARP this past week. So Robert Tanyan, get cut, dude. Get cut, buddy. Learn how to cook a burger because you're going to start making them for your job. You're a bum. You're a bum.
Him and Byron
if you can't succeed,
workmates.
Yeah, they'll be working together, literally. If you can't succeed with Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback, fuck your own face. We'll leave it at that. Okay. All right. Let's go, Rickster. You got a hoodie? Fuck
Let's go.
Yeah, let me drop the link to the merch. Guys, if you haven't bought any merch yet, I mean, we don't charge for anything. So would really appreciate you guys copping some fresh merch if you like it, if you need some fucking clothes for the holidays. So link has been dropped in chats. Support the team. And there's some fresh shit on there too. Okay. So support the boys. We appreciate it. Okay. The Krabs blue hoodie is fresh, and we're working on something for BTL. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I wanted to show this too, because this might be the most important thing that happened yesterday in sports, but I'm not sure if everyone saw it. I want to make sure they did. You could say it's controversial. The boys went out last night. I don't really give a shit. They were boozing hard. And Heineke fucks. Heineke fucks. The guy is an absolute stud. He chugs a beer. He pounds it on his head like an absolute savage, throws it, and he's absolutely liquored up. You could just tell. I think the most underrated part of this video is if you look in the back right corner right there, you see Tress Way drinking the beer through his shirt. Shouting out the Caps. I don't know if you remember the Caps, but God, I'm forgetting who it was. But one of the Caps, I think it was Oshie, when they won the cup, was chugging beers through his fucking jersey just like that. So shout out Tress Way, back right corner, absolutely pounding a brew through his jersey. There's a reason he's the best punter in the league. If you guys saw that punting masterclass on Sunday Night Football, you know why. It's no joke. The guy can punt the living shit out of the football, and he can chug the shit out of a beer. Okay? Put some respect on their name. They might not be able to win games, but they sure as hell can boost. All right. So that should make you guys root for the Manders a little bit. They boost. They don't win, but they boost.
Hey, respect.
Unbelievable. Bought the Surge 6 hoodie, but the receipt said we'll be seeing. All right. Well, Bert, good try, brother. If that actually happened, dude, can you message me or can you message Nick Yale on Twitter and we can get that figured out, buddy? Because that's kind of beat.
It's probably just the saying.
You're a good sport. But let me know if that was actually a problem. What am I supposed to say when a girl asks me at the bar who Krabs Bets is? Brother, it's too late if she's asking me that. Hate to say it. Send Fruity your order number via Twitter DM, please. He's the GOAT, and he will take care of you. Fruity, you're a fucking beast. Awesome. Well, we have a lot of games to talk about. We don't have a lot of time because we talked about sports for too long. Why don't we do the bowl games real quick?
Yeah, we can talk about the bowl games.
It shouldn't take long, probably. 2 games today. 2 bowl games today. As soon as my iPad loads, we can talk about them. Eastern Michigan, San Jose State, going after it today. Do you have any leans in this one? I mean, Eastern Michigan, kind of hot at the end of the season. San Jose State hasn't covered in 2 months. But I don't really like anything in this game. Thoughts?
I mean, I don't really love anything, but I mean, everything you just said, it's giving me a lean towards San Jose State. I haven't looked at the splits, but on the surface, it would appear to me that, EMU plus 4.5, the better team. This bowl game, especially with the way that they're playing lately, what they finished winning, 4 of their last 5? Seems pretty free. So definitely lean towards San Jose State here.
I watched the San Jose State team mid-season in a late-night game. Their offense, I mean, they look good. I don't know what they've been doing of late. They sure as hell haven't been covering. But that team can score a little bit. Yeah. I definitely lean San Jose State's with you. The splits.
Yeah, they are not getting hammered with bets. This is
it's Eastern Michigan's a little public.
Yeah, a little public, not crazy. But
nothing even really worth worrying about either side.
Yeah.
But if this goes to -5, I'll be intrigued.
Yeah,
I'll be intrigued.
A little bit.
What about Liberty Toledo? Another couple of shitty schools playing tonight. Another MAC school here with Toledo. Are you taking a stab here with Toledo?
No.
Are you thinking about going Liberty after losing their last 3 games outright?
Losing their last 3 and then getting murdered in their last game.
I mean, listen to this. They lost their last 3 games outright when they were -13.5, -10.5, and -24. They were -24 against New Mexico State in their last game, and they lost 49-14, Jovan.
Yeah.
No way they fucking beat Toledo today, right?
Yeah, no chance. And the part that I do kind of like leaning into a little bit, this Liberty team has been tested by, I guess, better opponents, or at least Power 5 opponents. They played VT, they played Arkansas, played BYU, who's not Power 5, but better overall talent level, I guess you could say. Kind of near there. So I would love to lean into it. I think it's a gross play. Disgusting play.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And their coach is gone, right? Their coach is going to Auburn.
Yeah.
Right? Big deal. I don't even know if he's coaching this game. The guys are giving up. No way they try to win this game, huh? No way they win against Red Hot Toledo's.
No chance.
Okay. I think I like Liberty better than San Jose State as of right now.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Stay posted for plays, chat. Stay posted for plays. All right. Any NBA or NHL that you love that you want to bring up today? If not, we can dive into CBDs.
There is an interesting one with the Bulls going up into the Heat.
Let's hear it.
Seen this go, I think 5.5 to 4.5. Especially like the Bulls are coming off a game where they gave up 150 to the T-Wolves. They got absolutely romped, and they've lost, I think, their last 4 games. going up against this Heat team that's super, super inconsistent. But for them, I guess they've won 4 in a row against terrible teams, haven't looked great in them, haven't dominated any of these games really. But this move from 5.5 to 4.5 is certainly interesting with the way the Bulls have been playing lately. So I do like the Bulls.
Yeah, try 4 on some books, buddy. It's at 4 now. Ooh. Yeah, sure. Any injury bullshit in this one?
I don't think there's any injuries that are any significant.
I mean, is Jimmy playing? He's game times. He's probable. He's playing. Fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, I see Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry's out every other game. I'm not really worried about that. He hasn't played, I think, their last 3 games or 2 games. So
okay,
fine with that.
What about Detroit only getting 2.5 points at home against the Jazz?
Yeah, that one's a little weird. So I know DeGen has his little, I don't know if it's system or just trends that he likes to pay attention to, that they're back-to-back off of a loss, the Jazz are. So it's kind of competing things going on there. The Jazz have not been playing fantastic other than that little weird 2-game set against the Pelicans. So I certainly think that line is very, very short, but there's a couple things on both sides that's kind of keeping me away from that.
Awesome. And I feel like Utah just isn't even really a good team. I feel like they just kind of came out hot like the Wizards did last year. Now they're kind of just coming back down to earth. And I think this is just kind of the team that they are. I just don't think they're very good, right? Like when they lost D. Mitch and Rudy Gobert is gone too, right? I thought this team would be mid or ass, honestly, not even mid.
Yeah.
I think this is just who they are now.
Yeah. They definitely outperformed a little bit. Yeah. I mean, Lauri Markkanen has been fantastic this year. Clarkson's good half of the time. Conley, whenever he chooses to play, is a decent little veteran presence for them. But they're just such an inconsistent team, which is why we see these short lines in there. They come out looking like the Warriors, 2016 Warriors, or they come out looking like the worst team in the NBA. So
this is another good point too, Jovan. Hero's coming off that career game, right?
Yeah, yes. I mean, he's been ridiculous these last couple games. I don't think he's coming off of, because they played the Mexico City game. I guess he dropped 21 in that game too. But I mean, he's been absolutely unreal lately. Unreal.
Anybody in chat know how many games in a row the Wizards have lost? I think it's 10.
It's a great question. Let's see. There's 6.
I think it's 10.
There's 9. There's 10. Yeah, 10.
Yeah, my guy Welsh in chat saying 10. Welsh, I think we're probably good on going to Wizards games anytime soon, brother. 1-13 their last 14. Nice. I don't really know how our coach hasn't gotten fired yet, to be honest with you. We literally brought him over here to coach defense, and we have the worst defense I've ever seen in my entire life. It's somehow gotten worse after firing Scott Brooks, which I didn't think was even possible. So, yeah, defensive coach, sure. He's fucking terrible, and so are the fucking Wizards. And Kyle Kuzma wants out, and Bradley Beal doesn't care about winning, and has had COVID 20 times, and the Lakers are having walk-off buzzer beaters against us with Thomas Bryant, who was their old player. It's just absolute piss for this team. But yes, Chelly, Jahan Dotson is him. That is a plus for DC. Appreciate that. Needed that. You like anything in this Wizards game? I know the Suns have been kind of mid too, right?
Yeah, the Suns haven't been great. I mean, they've looked
3 in a row though. They've won.
Yeah, I was about to say they've looked better the last couple games. So, I mean, that line seems a little low. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do want to see Booker if he ends up playing or not. But if he plays and that line's at 7,
yeah. You know what I'm gonna do if that happens, Jovan?
What?
I'm just gonna grow the fuck up and take the ML because they're gonna win that game. When the Wizards, they're not gonna just cover. They're gonna either lose these games by a lot or they're gonna win outright. And we could probably get, plus 200 at least.
Yeah.
Plus 230, sure.
Yeah. They're hanging around that little sweet spot where the dogs have been winning outright.
There we go.
Don't mind it.
There we go. Yeah, Troy Brown and Thomas Bryant looking like fucking Kyrie Irving and LeBron James of the Cavs a couple years ago.
Thomas Bryant needs more minutes, dude. He's so
Thomas Bryant is good. Yeah, I know. He's good. And we look like idiots keeping Gafford instead of him. We look like fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Now, I would have done the same thing at the time because Gafford was just playing better.
He was
But
insane.
he's terrible now.
Yeah,
he was just only good for like 2 months, and now he's just terrible. So that's awesome. All right. What about hockey?
Yeah, there's a couple. I mean, it's a really good hockey slate. There's better games. It's not a bunch of games that I'm dead set on betting as of yet, but there's one that's catching my eye just a little bit, just a little tad, and it's the Sharks. Sharks are catching my eye a little bit. This might be one. I wouldn't be shocked if that line climbed up to that little minus 200, so I can hit the plus 1.5. But he didn't go through shoot around either. That's interesting.
Continue.
That's interesting. But yeah, the Sharks are catching my eye. They just played, I think it was Saturday or Sunday. Flames won the game 5-2. I would assume we're going to have a different goalie matchup. Last, it was Markstrom Kakkonen. Markstrom played, I think, the last 4 games, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see Vladar today, who I think is, I don't know if that's like a hot take or whatever, but he's so much better than Markstrom, I think, in the games that I've watched him. So, I mean, he's coming off of a bad game, which I don't like, but he did win the 4 in a row prior to that game against the Leafs. And the Sharks overall have been very bad at home. I would love if Reimer is coming back in net after he saw Kakkonen last game. 3-9 at home. Haven't been good. This line is around the same price that it was last game when they won 5-2, and it's moving down towards the Sharks. So that is one that is certainly catching my eye.
Let's go Sharks.
Yeah. Let's go Sharks.
I can't tell if Ollie's fucking with me or not. Ollie, are you fucking with me? Or was that a genuine question? Because before I freak out, I want to know.
He sucks. He's garbage.
I need to know, Ollie. Hurry up. No, I just got here. Yeah, no, we drafted Johnny Davis from Wisconsin, and he might be the worst draft pick ever.
Garbage.
Ever. He's not even playing well in the G League, and he was a top 10 pick. What the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Yeah, he was a bucket in college, Ollie, but this is the NBA, and he blows. Terrible pick. Terrible pick. Yeah, I know. John, yeah, I called it too. I was like, he's going to be fucking garbage. Like, this is bullshit. I said we should draft Duran. I think he might have went before anyways, but whatever. Yeah. All right. So your favorite hockey play as of right now, Sharks?
Yeah, as of right now. I'm hoping that we get goalie confirmation, and I would love if that line kind of either stayed or moved towards the Sharks. That'd be great. That'd be great.
Okay. What happened to Johnny Juzang? He's in the league. He's on the Jazz. I don't know if he plays though. He's on a 2-way. So he's probably going back and forth between Salt Lake and Utah. Yeah. He's in the league, though. He's on the team. He's on the Jazz. Bryce is saying he's hurt. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah.
Not shocking.
All right. You want to cut the shit and dive into CBBs? What do you want to do?
Yeah, let's do that. All right. Circle back around if we need to.
Okay. Yeah, we got a game. Oh, Duran was a few picks after. Awesome, Ollie. Appreciate it. Thank you. Fuck me. All right. College basketball. Told you guys the PIDs have been mid. We're hitting a fucking PID today. And it starts with Drake. It starts with Drake. Not the rapper. I'm talking about the school. They're getting 5 points, 5.5 points, whatever you're getting. Lock it in now because you're not going to get a better number. Give me Drake plus 5.5 against undefeated, 15th ranked Mississippi State, who's been maybe the biggest ever performer of the college basketball season. Hence why they're only ranked 15 as an undefeated team. All right. This Drake team is good. They're good. Yeah. They're 8-3. This team can play, man. This team can fucking play. Plain and simple. Their coach, their coach's son is the best player on the fucking team, which is nuts. And they've got a couple other older guys too. They've got a really good older guard here in Roman Penn, who's been around. Tucker DeVries. Yes, that is his name. Coach DeVries is the coach at Drake. Mm-hmm. He's been there for a couple of years. This Tucker DeVries kid has no business being at this school. I don't know if anyone's an OG and remembers me talking about this Drake team last year. That's all I could That's all I would say was this kid he should not be at the school. Hence why he's dropping 19 points a game.
Yeah.
Early on in the season. The kid's fucking awesome. He's got his freshman year under his belt, which went, okay. The kid's a 6'7" absolute bucket, guard, can dribble. He's a stud. And he's going to be the best player on the court. Straight up. Yeah, he's a 4-star. Cole saying in chat. Should have picked Iowa State. Yeah, probably. And yes, Pega fan, Chode fan, sure. All right. Hear me out. This Drake team has not been getting talked about at all this season. And you're going to be hearing a lot about them after tonight when they win outright. All right. Take the points. Don't be a bot. This game does start. It's one of the earlier games. I think it starts at 5 Eastern time. The spread is short, right? +5 on a neutral court, which makes it even weirder. I initially thought this game was at Drake. This is neutral. And they're only getting 5 points. The splits are good too.
Gross.
Yeah, it's in Nebraska. It's in the middle of fucking nowhere. I don't know why the hell they're even playing this game. It's weird, but they're getting 36% of bets, 56% of handle on the spread. On the ML, they're getting nothing. 12% of bets, 7% of handle. I'm assuming Mississippi State will be a pretty popular ML piece, ML play, and parlay piece. Being a ranked team playing against a school people haven't even heard of. Well, people are going to hear about Drake after tonight. And people are going to know Roman Penn, all right? And people are going to know Tucker DeVries. And people are going to know Coach DeVries, who's been a very good mid-major coach for the last couple of years. And they're going to win this fucking game.
Yeah, they are. And when I look at this game, it's kind of like we know Mississippi State's not just going to score. They're not going to score at a crazy clip. So it's going to be their defense. If they're going to win this game, they're going to beat Drake. And when I look at this game, and I look at how Mississippi State has defended kind of some of these other teams, and yes, we 100% do remember that.
Yeah.
And now we're circling back around to the GOATs. But I look at this team and how they defended. Oh wow, that's where he belongs. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No way.
That's hilarious.
No way.
You gotta send that immediately to Peter.
No fucking way, dude. Come on.
What team is he coming
to? Oh my God, he got signed to my favorite team, the Dinos.
Yeah, now you gotta start fading him.
He's going to the Dinos. He's gonna be the best pitcher in the fucking league, Jovan. I don't want to hear it, dude.
He's gonna have like a 4 or 5 ERA.
Holy shit.
He's so bad.
The Dinos. That's my team, bro. That's literally my KBO team. I'm about to get a fucking jersey, bro.
Please do not waste your money on a Eric Fetty KBO jersey.
I'm about to get an NC Dinos Eric Fetty jersey. Yes.
I'm begging you.
Maybe I'll do what the chicks do, or like moms will do when they have like 2 sons on different teams playing. Or they'll like wear 2 of the jerseys, right? They'll wear like one side here, one side here. You ever see Mama Curry do that? Maybe I'll do that with his Nationals jersey and his Dinos jersey.
I can't think of anything I would rather not spend my money on than that right there. That's top 5 worst uses of money of all time. So please don't do that.
Yeah, this is hilarious.
That's unreal. That's absolutely unreal. All right, well, back to Drake. Back to Drake and Mississippi State. I think the fact that they have
I'm sorry. I need another second. I can't even this guy. I thought he would be in the rotation next year again. Like, what the fuck?
Why do you want him in the rotation?
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
It's terrible.
He has good games sometimes.
Once in every 6 years. Maybe like once against the Marlins. Against a team who has a negative average. It's garbage.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. No.
Garbage. All right. What I was saying, veteran ball handlers is huge. We talked about DeVries is not like the main ball handler. You got Roman Penn, you got Sturts, you got DJ Wilkin, all senior guys who've been in that system for a while. And when you look at kind of Mississippi State and when their defenses cause problems against offenses who can score, Marquette held them to 55. All their guards and ball handlers are sophomores or younger. And then you look at some of the games that like they've struggled a little bit. Go back to the Akron game, which was it ended in a 20-point game, but really it was a tied game for 30 minutes of that game. And they only had 9 turnovers. Akron did as a team. They have Xavier Castaneda, senior guard, very, very good at limiting turnovers and just in general, very good. They held that game for a while. The Nichols game, which was a couple days ago, Latrell Jones, senior, good ball handler. Latrell Jones, the GOAT.
I know. I
know. Latrell Jones, senior ball handler. So these are guys who'd be able to handle the pressure a little bit for Drake, which is why I love it. The one, I guess, caveat or warning that I have about Drake is Miss State loves to get to the free throw line, and you could be damn sure that Drake is going to send them there because they hack a ton. So, I mean, I wouldn't be against maybe splitting it up and going a little bit first half full game, split the bet on it, because I think at the end those free throws might be an issue, but I still think they come out here and win this game, to be honest with you.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've already hammered. The damage has been done.
I know.
And that dog like the Drake Bulldogs tonight too? Sounds like it.
Yeah, hammering them. Absolutely hammering.
Oh, man. Can we get this AAA dude out of here? He's the most miserable, the biggest virgin with the most belly rolls I've ever seen through a computer in my life.
He's on YouTube for whatever reason. But
really?
Yeah. He can come to Twitch. Come Twitch. But
that guy just sucks.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyway, I hope him taking his anger out on some kids trying to make people some money and makes his day better. Yeah. I hope it helps you out, my man. All right? Whatever works. All right. How about Oregon? I want to talk about Oregon a little bit. Oregon's playing one of the most trendy mid-major teams in college basketball tonight. All right. Oregon got off to a very slow start, but they're starting to heat up. They're playing some good basketball. I was pretty high on this team before the season. They started out like shit, but now they're firing off on all cylinders. They've won 4 of 5. They've covered 4 of 5, and now they're playing a Utah Valley team that has an outright win against BYU the other week. Almost beat Boise State, right? They've got some good wins. They've got a lot of covers. And this spread is fat.
Yeah.
I was shocked to see this spread in the double digits. I'll be completely honest with you, especially with the news of one of Oregon's role players. There were thoughts of him coming back. It's not looking like he's going to be back today. And that line keeps moving towards Oregon. You know, it did pull back a little bit this morning, but now it's moving back towards Oregon again. And it's at -12 on most books. And what I will say is, hold on, I'm trying to find this kid. Yeah, Keyshawn Barthelemy, who hasn't played in minutes, but there were talks of him coming back. He's officially out. And that line is continuing to move towards Oregon. Look, I know it's public, but we know what Oregon does at home. They win, and they cover. And they're going to win and cover here tonight. They're going to win by 20 points. I'm not really sure why they're -12 against a pretty fucking good Utah Valley team. But it tells Vegas knows something we don't.
Yeah, I mean, just a little bit. I mean, I think this is a game where they're going to have to win it in pretty much all phases of the game. I think with Utah Valley, it's a team they really felt that kind of Fardaws gap, I think, that he left because he was such a vital part of that offense. It's not to say they haven't been good, but I think as far as kind of getting productivity offensively, at least, out of this team, I know you get it from, I think, Bandojo, or however you say his name, the big 7-foot center. I don't think he's going to be able to do that against Dante. So I think that's going to be probably the key matchup to watch, who wins that battle. And I wouldn't be shocked if Dante wins it, because I think Dante is more physical. Bandoga's a little bigger. I think he's got a couple inches on him or whatever. But I think Dante's going to be more physical than him. They're just going to set the tone for the rest of that team. I hate Will Richardson. Or I just strongly dislike betting on him when he's involved in these games, because he is so inconsistent, so bad. I think it might have to be a Quincy Guerriere game. So I think they're just going to have to do it at all phases, and it begins with Dante winning that battle on the inside, which I think they can do, and I think that's why the spread is so big.
Okay. Our guy Colombian Andy asking if Bartholomew's going to play. No, he's out, which makes it even weirder. Like I was talking about, that spread keeps moving. Awesome. He's MJ when the game is not televised. Well, this game's on Pac-12 Network, which is the hardest place to fucking find a stream for. So good fucking luck.
Yeah,
You're not finding shit on that.
They also have. I was just scrolling through Prize Picks a little bit because Will Richardson's pretty commonly up for threes at 1.5, and just consistently does not hit it. They have Quincy up today, which is nice for 1.5 threes. Just kind of again, I like to lean into that a little bit. I think Dante's numbers against a center that's bigger than him and has shown some dominance a little bit, especially on the boards. I think his numbers are a tad high too. So I like that. I like everything I'm seeing here.
Okay. Our guy in chat is saying concerns with Jones and Moore game time for Mississippi State. Definitely not ideal. But, I mean, I couldn't be less concerned with Jones, to be honest with you. He plays like 10 minutes a game. Shaquille Moore is definitely not good that he's out, but
he's not that big of a role. Like really for Mississippi State, there's nobody who I would be concerned about other than Tolu Smith as far as affecting the spread.
Yeah, I mean Shaquille Moore is an absolute strap on D, which is the thing. He's a defensive wizard.
I know, but I'm talking about like as far as making the line shorter.
Right.
It's Tolu Smith or nobody.
Okay. There you go. Also, how about our Liberty guy, Darius McGee? You said his threes was at 4 yesterday. Didn't he have like 6 or 7 of them? Or 9 of them?
I didn't see how high he went, but I know I saw 5 at one point.
He might have had 9. Yeah, he had 9.
9?
9 threes. Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah, nuts. That dude's a freak. And could be the next Steph Curry. I'm not even kidding. He has the same exact play style.
Yeah, we were checking while we were at the game because he took that USF rebound prop and paired it in like 7 2-teamers. Went like 4 and 3, I guess, or something with all of us. Okay. So we were checking. I know I saw 5, but 9. Jesus.
Yeah. Ollie, the weirdest part is, dude, like the fact that he goes to Liberty is so weird. Jovan, I don't know if you know this, but Liberty is in the bumfuck Virginia. Could not be less around it. And it's in the complete middle of nowhere, more than even Blacksburg. So I don't really know why he goes there. I don't know why anybody goes there for sports, but their teams have been much improved in recent years.
I don't know why they go there for – don't they have – I mean, won't talk details, but don't they have very specific kind of campus life rules too?
Yeah, like you used to have to wear like a polo everywhere you walked. It's like a super religious school.
Yeah, it goes pretty BYU type deep.
It's definitely very like all guys in one dorm, all girls in the other, and no fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no fun. No fun's an easy way of putting it.
Zach said his brother-in-law played football there. He left after 1 semester. They get points for misbehaving. Okay, what are they in kindergarten?
Yeah.
Nice. The Jen was talking about that today on board review. Coaches do some sketchy recruiting tactics. There's actually a crazy documentary on Hulu, not an ad, crazy documentary about Liberty and the president of the school doing some weird stuff that I'm not going to talk about on here, but weird shit. So if you want to watch a documentary on that, you go check that out. Jovan, that school is weird. Yes, that's my points. Don't know why people go there, but Darius McGee is a fucking bucket. He's incredible. He's incredible. Yeah. All right, what about UVA and Miami? All right. UVA heading down to Miami. Miami now ranked. Miami 11-1. Last night I liked Miami. Today I like UVA. That spread is moved 2 or 3 points towards UVA. With the news that Nigel Pack is going to be back for Miami.
Yeah.
Which makes no fucking sense, dude. No fucking sense. You're in the same boat.
I am in the same boat. Not just because of that, but I mean, that's easily the most popular underdog that I've seen and heard today. I just think this Virginia team is too good. And coming off of that loss against Houston, very good defense, which granted, I mean, I think they played well offensively against Houston's defense for parts of that game. So I was a little impressed. I think we've seen the scoring drop up a little bit for them as a team these last couple games after they had a pretty good offensive start to the year. Now I think they just might get it together a little bit. I know this total's moving down, so I'm not going out there expecting them to score 80 points on this Miami team or anything, but I think as a team they're too good. I think there's a lot of individuals on this Miami team, and not that Nigel Pack coming back is going to hurt them, but first game back from the injury, I might be a little apprehensive about taking Miami, especially with the move.
I love to fade teams when their stars come back.
Yeah,
I'd love to do that. And I'll tell you what, I've talked about it before on here about how Miami has the richest locker room in college basketball. That is true, at least from what we know, not under the table, right? This Miami team is rich. This Miami team, I'm very curious to see how they deal with adversity. Not root against them. Not mad that they're rich. I don't want it to seem like that. Get your money, get your bag.
Yeah.
But my point is,
this is the thing
how
too.
are they going to work together? You know what I mean? When they're down 5 with 3 minutes left, are they gonna be having the will to dig in and pull out a crazy comeback win, or are they gonna be thinking about what filet mignon they're ordering on DoorDash that night? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean this is the thing too. I mean, he's shooting terribly. I mean, really, other than I'm looking at a couple standout games, against St. Francis and UCF, maybe Providence if you want to count that, but not really. He hasn't really played too well. I don't think people realize that. I mean, I'm looking at these last 4 games, NC State, even in the Cornell game where they put up 107 points, I'm seeing 3 for 10, 3 for 12, 3 for 9, 3 for 12.
Damn.
He hasn't been that good this year. And I don't think people realize that. Miami's been good. Hasn't really been because of him. I mean, sure, he draws attention, which helps other guys in different ways other than the stat sheet, but it's been the Isaiah Wong show, really. So
he's a dog.
Him coming back, well, it may help him get open looks. I'm not really buying into that as a reason why they're going to win this game.
Okay.
Yes, Omier has really been probably the impact transfer. It hasn't been Pack.
Yeah. Okay. Jordan Miller, Loudoun County legend. Yes, he is a Virginia guy, and he's pretty good too for Miami.
Yep.
Okay. Are you betting UVA or are you staying off?
So you want to bet it?
Wow. Okay.
Bet it.
Awesome. What about Oklahoma, Florida? You got any thoughts in this game? You think Castleton eats today?
Yeah, he will. He will definitely eat this. This Oklahoma team on the interior is so incredibly soft, partially just because they don't really have the guns to play on the inside, to be real with you. I mean, Tanner Groves is a good Brady Manick type guy. I mean, he's a good stretch 4, I guess you want to call him, but he's not a guy you can play on the interior and really hang with any impact big. Kind of same thing with Jalen Hill. Super undersized, but they play him big just because they have to. That's the kind of personnel they have. So Castleton is going to be he's a matchup nightmare for a lot of teams, but he's going to be a nightmare for Oklahoma today. And with as inconsistent as Florida is too, this feels like one of those games. Just one of those games that they come out and absolutely dominate in kind of every phase of the game. And I like the slight move their way too, I believe.
Definitely a slight move. This caught my eye today.
Look at that.
These are his last 5 games, by the way.
He
just hasn't been good this year, man. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed with what I've seen him. I mean, he got absolutely manhandled against UConn and Sonoga, which was expected, I guess. Some would say it wasn't. He plays like a bitch sometimes. He does.
Yeah.
He does. But against this soft-ass Oklahoma team, like you were saying, this is a dream matchup. It's a dream matchup.
It really is. And a lot of these issues, I mean, even not just the UConn game, but just in general, they're not very good bigs, but they're at least bigs that have been physical with him. And Ohio had that. And I mean, they really didn't have to win on the interior in that game just because Ohio was letting them fly from three and Florida just couldn't miss. Same thing with Stetson. They at least have a big that's big enough and got physical with him, got into foul trouble a little early too. And they won that game by a lot. So, I mean, now he's going to be in for this entire game, playing at least, unlike a couple of these last games.
Mm-hmm.
And the Tanner Groves is not enough. Not enough with him.
Agreed. Real quick, Marquette Providence. Last night, I saw the line moving towards Providence. Saw they were -1, -1.5. Now I think it's starting to come back again, Jovan.
Yeah.
Not saying I was, initially even gonna be betting on Providence because they're one of our mortal enemies, right? But that spread is short, and I was thinking about betting on them until now. I'm looking that they're back to +1 or +0.5 on some books. So I think I'm out on Providence today. Although I do think that line is a little short, but could be because people remember what Providence did last year, right? Thoughts, real quick. What do you got?
Also, I mean, I'm kind of torn on this game. I do think if I had to make a play, it would be Providence. There's a couple different things. I mean, why I would probably lean Providence initially is because Marquette is coming off of two pretty big wins, I would say, against a Notre Dame team on the road. Beating them in South Bend is no joke. And then a Creighton team who, I mean, I still believe is very overrated. I think a lot of people have caught on now, despite Buckbrenner being in or out or whatever. That's a big win. And these kind of, I don't want to say even tier games, but games against teams where you don't think one is significantly better than the other in the Big East, home court has mattered, not just at the start of this year, but generally. And I think people buy into that a little bit too, and I'm fine with that. But this is a Providence team who, like you said, probably still has the brand a little bit, despite how terrible they've played. So I'm not running to this one quite yet. Not sure what I'm going to do with it, but it would probably be the lean.
Have you given this a peep against your mortal enemy, Air Force?
Yeah, I mean, there's no play other than Northern Colorado in that game. I don't want to do it for the sake of everybody betting it, because talk about somebody and someone who I can't hit a bet for or against, it's Air Force basketball. So I will pass for the betterment of everybody, but Northern Colorado, in my opinion, which might not mean shit when we're talking about Air Force basketball, they would be the play.
Yes, I agree. I don't know if you've seen this Dalen Kuntz kid, but he's good for Northern Colorado. He's averaging 17.5 points per game, kick and shoot lights out. Kid actually transferred from Colorado. He's really good. And they got another kid, too, who averages like 20 points a game. This NoCo team is decent. Our guy, Ben Carey, he would appreciate this.
Yeah.
They got another guy who averages like 18 points a game. Yeah, Dalton Kneet or Schneet. I don't even know how to say that kid's name, the senior. They can play, man. And Air Force is on fire. They've covered a bunch of games in a row. I don't hate NoCo. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly don't either. They've been putting up a lot of points lately too. I mean,
they're just a good team, straight up.
Yeah, I mean, Matt was saying they're equivalent of mid-major Virginia, which initially was true, but they've put up. They're averaging 80 points in the last 3 games, which is nuts, like nuts. I mean, 79, 80, 81 in these last 3 games, which they were at home, and there's a significant drop off for this team when you come on the road, but that's a lot of points for this team in these last couple games. I can't remember the last time I've seen an Air Force total touching 140 almost.
And a lot of bets on Air Force. 68% of bets on Air Force, but only 38% of handle, Jovan.
Yeah.
Give me NoCo. Awesome. Well, let's build the squad ride. Don't let the squad rides get hot. All right, chat. We've won 4 in a row, I believe. Let's keep moving. Let's keep grooving. Okay. Jovan, what do you want to put in?
I mean, I feel like we got to put in Drake, right?
Then Drake. Can you look up what the consensus odds are while I look for other plays? What are we dealing with here?
Consensus 5.
5? Okay.
Yeah. It's only
cool.
2 4.5. So hanging
We'll
out.
go Drake +5. You want to put in any other college basketball?
Looking through what we talked about.
Chad, what do you guys want in the poll?
Yeah,
Let me know.
Chat, let us know what you're feeling.
Drake, NoCo, Florida.
I do want to put the Bulls in there. Plus 4.5.
Okay, we can do that. Do Bulls plus 4.5.
Or I guess
Big
see
Acid.
See more force.
See more force? All right.
Yeah,
Big
force.
Acid and wants to take IUPUI. Hey, I don't hate it. Spread's getting shorter. It's against our boys, though. It's against our boys who suck right now. Commerce. Yeah. No, thank you. Yeah, we didn't even talk about Wake Forest. I love that play, too. Not going to put that in because we didn't get to sell it, but I love that play.
Yeah.
Why don't we put in – you want to put in Liberty plus 3.5 bowl game?
What time does that start?
That's tonight.
It's tonight? Yeah, we can put that in that. Yeah.
That is at – what time?
Who won't be back, you think?
Let's see. That one is at 7:30 ETs.
There we go. Toss it in.
All right. What else, brother? You want to put in that hockey play?
Yeah. I want to wait to make sure the goalie matchup is what we're expecting.
Okay. So do you want to leave it at these three? Do you want to put in more CBB? What do you want to do?
I feel like we should put in more CBB. Fill it out. Fill it out to 5.
All right. Well, I saw a lot of Floridas and I saw a lot of NoCos, so why don't we put those in?
Yep, we can do that.
All right. Florida minus 3.5. NoCo minus 2.5. So we got Drake plus 5. We got Chicago plus 4. We got Liberty plus 3.5 football. We've got Florida minus 3.5. And we've got NoCo minus 2.5. Go, go, go. Vote, vote, vote. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Go, go, go. What was the read on the early college basketball game? Call the number. That was the read.
Yeah, I couldn't do anything in that game. Couldn't do anything.
That was the read. Yeah, go vote, chat.
Yeah.
Hurry, hurry, hurry. Go, go, go. All right. Shout out our guy, Josh. Let's get some W's in chat for Josh running the poll. Okay,
yeah,
he's doing a great job.
Josh W's.
He's got the spreads in parentheses. He's got the sport. It's looking official. It's looking sharp. Let's get some W's in chat for Josh. All right.
Yeah.
Let's also vote. Vote.
You want to talk about Wake while we're waiting for the votes to come in?
Yeah, let's talk about Wake and let's talk about John Shire's first ACC road game tonight. Going to Wake Forest here, who I've been really impressed with, to be honest with you. This Wake team overperforming, I think. I'm still in the bowl section here. Hold on. But they're getting 7 points, maybe 8, depending on where you look. This Duke team has had it pretty easy. Oh, looks like it's back to plus 7.5 consensus. Okay, good. I just think fade Shire and fade this Duke, freshman team in their first, true road test. And you could say that that's going to be a public narrative today. I don't know if it is, because I don't know if you're seeing what's going on in chat.
No, I know.
But Appleby, he's questionable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do we know if he's playing?
I believe he's playing. Yeah,
he played last game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's playing.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to say, if he's not playing, holy shit. He played last game against Rutgers. Yes, he did come back last game. Good. Yeah, give me Wake Forest. Give me the points at home. Probably going to need Appleby to cover this game anyways. And it's good he's not coming back for the first game tonight. I also don't mind the splits. Let's give it a peep. 20% of bets, 27% of bets, 30% of handle on Wake. Plus 7. Home dogs getting less than 10 points against ranked teams are successful bets. I'll leave it at that. And this falls in that system. All right.
Yeah.
You like Wake Forest today too?
I do. This is one because it's kind of around that 7.5 number, which meant a little bit in the NBA, but I'm trying to keep an eye on it in college basketball. I want to see which way it moves. I know it's moved, I think, up to 7.5, but it's kind of stuck there. I'd be interested to see if it moves back a little bit. So I like Wake. I like Wake. Also, I'll sneak in a little Montana State opening under 20 against Arizona. It's a little weird. Sneak that in.
That is a little weird. Yes, good. Awesome. Well, chat, appreciate it. We will wrap this up and pass it over to the GOAT, Drake, not the rapper, the school. You're going to know a lot about Drake after tonight, and you're going to put some respect on their goddamn names. Looks like they won the squad ride too. What could go wrong? What could go wrong?
What could?
Chat, we'll be seeing.